Today we will talk about why don't Filipinos give a dang about anything in the Philippines. If you've traveled here more than 1 week, you soon realize that many people simply do not care about anything around them. They seem to be within their own little world and they never want to improve or advance in any shape, way, or form. They simply want money without ever doing the work for it. We've covered this issue several times. However, today we will talk about someone's experience who was there for a few weeks and they are completely shocked. They say, for example, however, this is something that shocks me the most daily here, and that is the service. Shops, restaurants, hotels, and every one of these places, there just seems to be mistake after mistake constantly. A few examples: hotels not giving us the room we originally booked or not telling us that they didn't have a room for us at all due to a mistake, so we were just left waiting around for 4 hours with no information. Restaurants having items we never ordered on our bill multiple times. Ordering an item off the menu and never having it arrive, and when we ask how long it will be, being told they don't have it available. You didn't think to tell us so we could order something else? Incorrect change being given after purchase multiple times. Cashiers at supermarkets constantly making mistakes and watching customers have to return to get it fixed. Being allowed to walk up into a dining area even though there was a town meeting going on up there. Restaurants and kiosks not telling you that 80% of the menu is unavailable, so you just have to go through each individual item to ask if they have it. Ice cream kiosk with no ice cream. Cafe with no coffee. I need an explanation as to why this just seems to be the norm here. Well, I will tell you several of the things that you mentioned is simply trying to scam you for money. Adding additional items to your bill is a common one. Not giving you exact change is another common one. Essentially, any way they cannot do the job and get more money out of you, they will try to do it. And a lot of it simply comes down to laziness, as our next person by the name of any blacksmith says. General careless or carefree attitude, culture where it's rude to point out a problem to your higher ups if you're a subordinate. All the things you mentioned are normalized in the Philippines, as Filipinos don't even recognize it as a problem, let alone try to fix it. Work culture where you'll get in trouble for saying or doing the wrong thing, but won't get in trouble for doing nothing at all or not helping. Lack of critical thinking. Yes, excellently put. Everything is norm here since they accept it. They think that is the standard. Road Tutu says, I stayed at a beach hotel that came with a free breakfast. Every morning, the same waiter would take my order and always got it wrong. After the third attempt, I even talked very slow to make sure as he wrote on his little notepad, and of course, I did not get what I ordered. On the fourth attempt, I asked to see what he wrote down, and he refused. The hotel manager happened to be in the restaurant, and I called him over and explained the problem. We both looked at what the waiter had been writing down and found out he was just scribbling lines, as if he didn't know how to read or write. Turns out he was a dishwasher who was standing in for normal morning waiter who was on vacation. That is not even a joke. That is reality in the Philippines. People will do things that will leave you scratching your head. Broad Ed says, oh, you nailed it. Critical thinking does not happen here. LOL. I would also say there is an unbelievable lack of general common sense along with standard problem-solving techniques. LOL. But I'm used to it now and just treat most conversations like I'm talking to a 10-year-old. That may seem rude, but you have to deal with what you're given. Precisely. Do not engage with Filipinos as they are on your level intellectually. Consider talking to a teenager perhaps, or someone that's never been outside in public. They don't have simple, basic common sense with most scenarios. Zippy Dan says, this is it. Most Filipinos don't take pride in the job, so they just do shit job. This is a very disappointing and ugly cultural truth. However, most Filipino employers don't take pride in their employees. Don't trust them. Don't train them. don't pay them absolutely shit wages. So honestly, why should employees give a fuck? There is a bit of chicken or egg question here though. Which came first, the awful employees or the abusive employers? Looking at Filipino history, I think the answer is clear, but I can still blame both sides to a certain extent because both sides need to break the cycle and they often fail to do so. Example, when an enlightened employer gives his employees more trust or responsibility, they often continue to not care and fuck up or even outright betray the business. And when some employees go above and beyond, they are rarely recognized and encouraged and compensated by their employers. This must be one of the most intelligent observations I've had on this channel. Absolutely everything this person said is correct. It's a culture that does not trust itself or others, that has no pride in themselves or others. Despite what they tell you, there's zero lack of responsibility in this country. Pitful Recovery also makes good point by saying management here is absurdly hierarchical with zero focus on development of the person below you. Here is a real life example. We stayed at a luxury resort chain in Palawan last year. The buffet breakfast service was like a comedy routine. We counted 70 plus front of house serving staff. There were 5 colors of shirts based on their level of responsibility, authority. White shirts, greet and serve the guests first. The white shirts were the most plentiful and were students in the local college hospitality program. They could barely speak English, and everything would require at least a second person. Quote, you want waiter, sir, ma'am? End quote. Then they would flag over the waiter or coffee-bearing white shirts person to help. If you ask a question like, can I get a mango smoothie? We need to go up the color chart. Yellow shirts. Come over after asking non-water coffee question. Yes, sir. You had a question? While original white shirt stands 2 feet back. Yes, I would like a mango smoothie. Yellow shirt and white shirt retreat. Mango smoothie is not part of the complimentary buffet. We need to go up the color chart. Blue shirts. Arrive with yellow shirt and white shirt somewhere in tail. Yes, sir, you had a question about smoothies? Yes, I would like a mango smoothie, like the one I've ordered the last 2 mornings as well. Okay, sir, we have mango smoothies, but it's for charge. Yes, I know that. Can I have one, please? Yes, sir, your room number. Off they go. Eventually, one of the 2 things happened. Delicious mango smoothie arrived for the kid, or sorry, sir, we ran out of mangoes while I'm eating a slice of mango. Black shirt. Once they see the blue shirts involved, they want to know what's going on and begin interrogating everyone when they come away from the table to make sure there's not a problem. Eventually, they come by and warmly smile, and if everything is good this morning, depends on where we are on the morning smoothie project. I provided an update of everything good. Or, well, we are just waiting on a smoothie we ordered 10 minutes ago. And you can imagine how the second comment disrupts the hive, as suddenly everyone is highly motivated to understand that we need a mango smoothie. The business casual manager with the name tag, they serve no purpose in the dining service. They enter the room and are greeted warmly by everyone that works there, like a mini pope or local lord walking in, and everyone needs to come show their appreciation for being allowed to wear their glorious color-coded resort-branded polo shirt. They do not walk the restaurant floor, do not check in with guests or check the kitchen. What they do, sit down in the middle of the dining room and order breakfast and suck up all the black and blue shirts to serve them while the rest of the dining room descends into stages of dysfunction. We stayed there for 5 days. Every day was the same absurd circus. And this is Philippines' luxury resort chain where the average room is 20,000 pesos a night. Beautifully built property, absolute joke of execution. If any international hotel chain could open next door without hassle of local ownership, they would put this resort out of business in a year. But the Philippines is insulated from external competition, so for your business to survive, you only have to be a little bit more competent than the similar circus up the street. So, TLDR, no, don't waste your money on Astoria, Palawan, LOL. The original poster says, Astoria, Palawan is where we stayed where they messed up our room. OMG, ha ha ha. Pyramid shares his thoughts. 1. Wages. Unless you are at some kind of higher end place, the employees aren't paid enough to care. 2. Anyone educated enough to deal with those issues and to care about them won't normally be working frontline service jobs. 3. Overwork fatigue. Some of those people might have been pulling multiple shifts and have had to fight through hours of traffic to get to work. 4. High turnover. Some establishments hire through temp agencies or via short contracts, 6 months or so, which allows them to lowball wages and intentionally avoid paying and respecting the normal employment benefits. Results in the people don't stay long enough to learn their job, much less care about them. The big markets, the supermarkets, and malls are especially guilty of this. Looking at USM. 5. A combination of all these 4. Here is today's catfish. How do you go from this to this? Yesterday's best and worst comment. It seems like yesterday's video triggered many of you. This is the Philippines truth. If I speak the truth about the Philippines, I must speak the truth about the expats that are here as well. Yesterday's video was not about piss buckets in the province. It was about a man living in a modern home with his Filipina partner who continued to use a piss bucket next to her bed instead of using a toilet. Thanks for watching. God bless.